lights on? Are my lights not on? Oh, yeah, I don't have my lights on. Hold on. That's better. Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening. I don't know where you are. Hey, Slacks. How's it going? Cheers. I'm just getting set up here. Ah, yes, I remember where we were. All right. My day is starting fine. It's fine. It is 6:52. I woke up 15 minutes ago. I got a bill from my health insurance company. And paid it. Everything's good. Hey, that is a cute emoji, useless dinosaur. Hello there. All right, here we go. Excuse me. I've been eating too much lately. I went out for lunch on Tuesday and got a burger. And then I went out for dinner Wednesday night with some friends and drank a bunch of beer. Well, drank 2 beers. And I had another burger. Gigantic burger. And then I went out to dinner last night with my wife and had a big Mexican meal, carnitas. Carnitas. I don't think I'm going to eat all weekend. I've been overdoing it. Yeah, the socializing is nice. I'm in California, and the COVID numbers are down. And most places you can kind of go where you want. Everything's open. I mean, I still wear a mask whenever I go inside of a building somewhere. And most people do, like if you're at the grocery store or something. But it's not, where I am, it's not strictly required. But I don't know why you wouldn't. But yeah, people are out doing stuff. It's nice. All right. Last time we were working on this. And I haven't done this yet. I wrote the script for this, though. Hopefully I can record this maybe tonight or tomorrow and publish it. Excuse me. I did work on some sound effects for this, but like I've been saying, that's boring to watch. So I'm not gonna subject you guys to that. So we'll be back on this today, which you could argue is pretty boring too, but I think it's a fun. I mean, it's programming, but I think it's a fun programming challenge. So let's get into that. Mr. Cheese, how's it going? Good evening. All right. The problem I think we were having Alt key, Alt key. There we go. The problem I was having was that the collision shape was wrong. Because when I looked at a big level, like if I look at, what was the level I was looking at? Oh, let's just pick one. So yeah, this might be a good one. So the problem is if I click this, it's selecting too much. Why did it choose this? And I think it's because the collision shape that it's setting up. See, I was just trying to, like if I try to just move this, see, it's selected too much. I don't know why it selected this stuff in the middle. And my theory is that it's creating a collision shape from this corner all the way through to like here, right? From here through to here, and it's clipping these, so it's including this stuff. That's kind of my theory. And that could be because, let's look at the code. It was around here somewhere. I'm a little fuzzy in the morning right now. It was called, oh, rats, select something. Oh, wall something? Get all objects touching wall. Get all objects touching wall. Fix me. Get all objects touching wall does not work. The collision shape is wrong. Maybe not a convex polygon shape, or maybe points isn't quite the same as polygon. Or I was thinking, yeah, so this points, shape.points of a convex polygon shape might not be the same as a collision shape.polygon. So I think I need to read about that first. Let's do that. Oh, okay. Well, here's a clue. It's a point cloud. A convex polygon is internally decomposed into as many convex polygons as needed to ensure all collision shapes against it. All collision checks against it are always done on convex polygons, which are faster checked. The main difference between a convex and a concave polygon shape is that a concave polygon assumes it is concave and uses a more complex method of collision detection, and a convex one forces itself to be convex in order to speed up collision detection. Okay. And a shape 2D? Where's my wall? What is my wall? My wall is a polygon 2D. Polygon 2D. A polygon 2D is defined by a set of points. Each point is connected to the next, with the final point being connected to the first, resulting in a closed polygon. So you give it the points, and it draws them. The polygon, this polygon is a list of vertices with the final point. The final point will be connected to the first automatically. It doesn't say automatically here, but that is what happens because it draws lines between each of the vertices and then draws a final line between the last and the first. That's the idea. And then the convex polygon shape 2D, the points are a list of the polygon's vertices can be either clockwise or counterclockwise. So it is the same. The polygon's list of vertices. This is an alternate method of doing it, which should result in the same thing. I should be able to give this the list of points, the list of vertices for my polygon, and then it uses the Convex Hull 2D to generate the polygon. It should work out exactly the same as the way this works out. So maybe, it seems like this points and this polygon are the same. They're just the vertices of a polygon. So my theory that they're different is not correct, perhaps. Oh, flying aces. I bet you it works. I bet you it works no problem. Flying aces. Maybe that would be a smart thing to do, would be to, instead of working on some other big project, I could just polish up flying aces maybe. I did enjoy that game. Maybe. I may be a little. I don't think it'd be that bad, though. Is there any way for me to see this shape? You know, I suppose what I could do, well, maybe there is. I could do in the editor. I know what I could do. Well, I don't know. Godot. C. Debug collision shape in physics query. Well, let me just step through this one line at a time here. Let's see what we're working with. I get the space. I get the physics state. I create a convex polygon shape 2D. Set its points to the same points as the wall. Create a new physics query. Set the shape of the query to the Convex Polygon 2D. I allow it to collide with areas. I move it to the position where the wall is. And then I select everything that it intersects that is not or I get a list of everything that it's colliding with that is not, that is itself and it's not already in the list. And this gets called, if it's a wall, if I'm selecting a wall, and I'm holding the Alt key, then it selects everything touching the wall. It should probably be if object and... Actually, I probably don't need that because I'll bet is wall already checks. Yeah. And then it just gets everything touching the wall and selects it. Hey, Nanoblit. Thanks for the follow. Cosmic, it is going well. And welcome. We're doing a little debugging here. I mean, I can turn on these visible collision shapes, but I don't think it's going to show this because this is a kind of temporary, it's ephemeral, and it doesn't actually, it's not actually ever added to the scene tree, I don't think. Okay, so yeah, you can't, that doesn't, it won't show it. And I could create a, I was thinking I could add like a shape here. Could add a shape here. I mean, let's go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens. Let's add another polygon 2D. And we'll, yeah, leave it white. And we'll call it our debug polygon. And here I'll say debug polygon dot polygon equals shape.points and debug polygon.position equals wall.position. So that should put it right where I click. What wall I click on should turn white and it'll just overlap it perfectly. I don't think this will help. Yeah. So the shape seems perfect. Let's see if I try this. See what it did? It selected this stuff in the middle. But if I erase this and erase this and select it again, oh, it still did it. Oh, because there's this. Let me erase that. See, now it doesn't. Right? But if I rotate, or if I move it, let's see, if I give it a handle, right, it's good. But as soon as it comes here where a line intersecting through here would touch, now it selects it. Maybe I'm using the wrong method here. Maybe it's confusing to me that this polygon shape 2D has it has two methods. It's got points, and then it's got set point cloud. And points is the list of vertices, which should be perfect. Point cloud should do exactly the same thing, but there's two methods. So maybe I'll try set point cloud and see if that does anything different. What this does is you should be able to pass in just an arbitrary list of points. And then what it does, you just give it as many points as you want, and then what it does is it tries to, like a rubber band, take a giant rubber band and put it around all of those, and then the rubber band shrinks, and then all the points that the rubber band is touching on the outside becomes the shape. I think that's how it works. Anyway, let's see what happens. Yeah, still doing it. Same. Oh, but look at that. Okay, so the shape is different. The shape is different. This is the wrong shape that I was thinking that it was doing before. So this is doing the rubber band thing, right? If you imagine a rubber band going around all these points, the rubber band will go like that, right through there. And that would cause this stuff to get selected here in the middle. But that's not what it was doing before. Before it was doing this, right? And I'm setting shape points. And when I do that, it matches it perfectly. So why is it still selecting this? And maybe it's because it's still doing that convex hull thing inside of here after I set these points. That's what I'm thinking. Which means maybe I need to actually do a concave polygon shape, 2D. There's something in this algorithm, I think, that's doing that convex hull thing no matter how I set this. And that would make sense to me, because if you have a method for doing the point cloud and then doing the convex hull, then this might just be a convenience, and internally it's still treating this like a point cloud and doing the convex hull on it. Which bugs me, but whatever. Well, I mean, it could be, right? But it doesn't have to be. So like if I turn on Debug Shapes, I think, yes, probably it should be a concave, but not for the reasons I think it should be. Because you can have a concave shape, or a, whoops. You can make a concave shape out of convex polygons, right? Like this. So you see, this concave shape is made of completely convex polygons. It's decomposed it. If you had a concave shape to start with, or if you had that, let me delete that. If you have a shape that isn't concave at all, you see what it does? Or concave at all, then it just uses one concave polygon to represent the whole thing. But as soon as it gets, it uses one convex, right? But as soon as you make it concave, it decomposes it into two convex polygons. So it's always convex. Every collision area is convex. And this collision works fine. Well, I don't think I do, but so that's my misunderstanding. Is I would think that this convex polygon shape gets. My assumption was it was treated like this, right? Where you give it a bunch of points, and it makes a bunch of convex polygons internally. But I don't think that's what it does. I think what it does is it just creates one gigantic convex polygon shape from this list of vertices. So this is just one shape, and it hasn't been decomposed like this. That's my problem. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. That's why the collision shape isn't working. So I need to use a different shape for this. Yeah. Because I think that's right. Because a polygon is like a polygon 2D, like these walls are, is a higher level thing. And even though it has a shape and there's a collision shape, this collision shape is actually decomposed into a bunch of different collision shapes automatically. But this is just one collision shape, and it's not decomposed into a bunch of different collision shapes, and so you just get one convex hull around all the points, and that's why the collision shape doesn't match my wall collision shape. Yeah, I think that's what's happening. So how do I create a physics collision shape that matches the shape of this complex polygon? And that might be a concave polygon shape, but I'm not sure. It's made out of segments, optimal for complex polygonal concave collisions. Okay, so I started with this one actually, but the reason I abandoned it is because it's made of line segments instead of vertices. So I need to convert my list of vertices into a list of line segments and then pass that. The even array indices are the starting points, and the odds are the endpoints of these line segments. So you have to have an even number of them, because the line segment always has 2 points. And this is just a list of vertices, so there can be an odd number. So what I need to do is create a points array. Oops. And then for p in wall.findNode shape polygon. So for each point in this, or let's call it vert. Let's call it vertice. I'm trying to save 3 characters. For vertice in wall find node shape polygon. For each one, I want to add it to the points array, and I want to add you know what, I'm going to change this. I'm going to change this to index. N in range size. Yeah. Because this is a pool2 vector array which has a size method. So I can go, this will be the indexes, and then let me do this. Wall poly equals that. Wall polygon dot size. Wall polygon n. And this will be wall polygon n plus 1. If n is less than polygon dot size, then do that. Else do that. So this says go through all the points in the polygon and add it to the list, and then also add the next one to the list, right? So it becomes a line segment. Unless you're at the very last vertex, in which case add the first vertex to close that segment. So it'll be closed. Then I can take my collision shape, segments equals, let's do this. Let's call this segments. Segments, 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 segments. Take away this. Delete this. All right. Now I should have a beautiful little concave polygon shape 2D for my collision. Let's try it. She works. Let's do this. Uh-huh. All right, let's load a real level. See, the reason I didn't do that in the first place is because I'm lazy. Turn off these debug shapes. It's lazy. I didn't want to write this. 6 lines. Well, 7, 8 lines. I didn't want to write that. God, I'm lazy. Oh, I loaded the wrong one again. All right. So now this should only select. Yep, that's perfect. 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 Let's load something more complex. Ooh, this is a good shape. Look at that. That's pretty good. The undo on it is a little wacky. But it's fine. There's always another thing you can add. But I like that. That works pretty well. Oh yeah, see that? That's nice. It does make undo a little weird though, because it adds each of these moves to the undo stack, and it doesn't undo them all as one thing. So you have to hit undo a bunch. But that's okay. I mean, the next natural feature to fix that would be, hold on. My undo, my undo data is an array, and I could add some kind of group parameter to this undo array, so that when I move a bunch of things at once, it puts them all in the same group, and then it just undoes all of them in that group when you hit undo one time. So it would effectively, it would just end up calling undo for you, 10 times if you ended up moving 10 things. And that group could just be a time index. right? So anything that moved, anything that changed within, you know, like half a second would all get undone or redone together. That doesn't sound hard. Yeah, undo groups. I mean, there has to be some kind of undo, a grouping of the undo, right, data. Because I don't want to rewrite all the undo code. I just think here, if you call undo, then this should be a loop. What is the undo data? It's just an array. So, but it's an array of dictionaries, I think. Add undo data, object data, data property. Yeah, so this is just this data that it adds to the undo list is just a dictionary, right? So I could add the group here. Name value. Something like that. Data.group. And this would just be engine dot, no, os dot time ticks milliseconds. I could do round os ticks milliseconds divided by I don't know, 100. Right? So now this becomes tenths of a second. So anything that happened within the same tenth of a second would be in the same group. Right? Can you just add properties dynamically to this thing? Let's see. I think you can. Hey, Bean Babini. Yes, I have a custom editor already, and it works great, and I'm adding some new features to it that I probably don't need to add, but I'm doing it anyway. Data, dictionary, group, yeah, so you can just add. So this becomes group 177. And if I move a bunch of stuff together, 4 things, then that's 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th thing. So now my data, or no, actually my undo. Where's my undo? Undo. Where are you? Here's redo. There he is. So my undo has 4 things in it. They're each a dictionary, and they should all have a group. 177, 398, 404, 410. They're all in a different group. Is that right? Get ticks milliseconds. So it's the number of milliseconds. What is this? Let me make sure I'm understanding what this is. I'm just assuming. The amount of time passed in milliseconds since the engine started. So if the engine is at 50,000 milliseconds and I divide it by 100, we're at this many milliseconds and I divide it by 100, right? So this would be the next millisecond, the millisecond after that, the millisecond after that, the millisecond after that. And then it rounds it. It should round it to 388. So anything that happens within 10 milliseconds of something else, or 100 milliseconds of something else, should get the same number. Actually, if I'm using round, I should change this to floor. Because if I'm using round, then if it's above 50, it'll go to the next one below. It works out the same. It works out the same because, yeah, it works out the same. So everything within 100 milliseconds should end up with the same group, but these didn't. They all got a different group. Let me try that again. Just make sure I'm doing it right. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Bop. Oh, they're in a different group because I'm debugging it. Because I'm pausing the game between. Let's try it again without debugging it. My debugging, it's like a it's like a quantum effect. My observation changed the result. Boom. So now if I take a look at the debug data, let's do this here. Okay. Now if I look at this debug data, my undo data, I should have a bunch of stuff in here. And it should actually all have the same group. So 140, 140, 140, 140, and then my most recent one would be here. Now it's there. So this is the most recent one, 309. 140, 140, 140, 140, 140. All right. So it could use that as a clue, the group, that it's all the same, that should be undone or redone together. So then this would be a loop. So this would be some kind of loop where it says for every undo, no. Loop through the undo, no. Just loop. Loop. So some kind of loop, and then do this undo stuff right here down below there, and then check if the group is the same as the last group, or is not the same, then stop. Otherwise, it'll just keep going. So if this is the first iteration, or this current group is not the same as the last group, no. If the group is not the same as the last group, then stop. Unless So it's something like if first iteration continue, if group is not the same as the last group, then stop. And do the same thing in redo. God, that looks deceptively simple. Ooh, look at you guys chatting away. I have made a custom editor. I'll show you it in a sec. Yep. Batch undo. Yep. I think it will speed up level editing. Yes, it's going to be worth it. Running through the whole array multiplies and all the undos are at the end might be a bit taxing. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hey, see ya, cheese. Have a good one. Well, yeah, I mean, it's a complicated statement. Have a good one, buddy. I'll see you later. All right. Yeah, because I'm doing a pop back. Hey, thank you, Woland. Yeah, so let's do that. Let's start there. This should be... Wow, they keep coming in. Bean Beanie, thank you. Bean Babini. My coffee is empty. All right, that puts a time limit on things, guys. My coffee is empty. You can't do a while loop in Godot, can you? Oh, wait, can you? It's red. What if I did for n in range undo dot size like that? Does that do what I think it does? Let's get rid of you. Okay, now we hit undo. And what did we print? 987654321. So that's a little weird. Because the undo array has what? 0. Zero? Okay, there are 9 things in it. So it printed out 9 to 1, and I actually want 8 to 0. Eight to 0. Okay, so this will run through the array in reverse, which is, this syntax is terrible. I don't like that at all. It's fine. It works. So that'll loop through the array in reverse. And then I need a variable for group. And I'm going to say null. And then I want to say do the undo. So all of this is going to be in the loop. Right? It'll do its creating thing, deleting thing, shape thing, moving thing, dab thing. It's all the undo things that it can do. Equals, right? So it's doing this, going through backwards. It's gonna pop the undo, add it to the redo, do the things, actually do the undo, and then it says if group not equal to null and group not equal data.group, then break. And then I set group equals data.group. Variable n already defined in scope at line 780. Where is that error happening? 785. Okay, so I can't use n. Okay. So when you first run through this loop, group is null. It's going to do the undo. Group is null, so it's going to short circuit here and go right to here and say group is this group. Then it'll do the next undo. It'll do the next undo, which means, or it'll attempt to. So I need to put this here because maybe it shouldn't do that one. Do it right here. But this has already been popped. So this is complicated. I want to say if group is not undo dot size -1. Under I, actually I could use that. I don't want to change, so I want to use under. So the first iteration is going to skip this and do the undo. Then the second iteration, it's not null. And the group, if the group is different than the previous group, then stop. But if it's the same as the previous group, then do the undo and keep going. And then here, I can move this up as well. This can be here. And this should be that. This, and the reason I do this is just to keep these two these lines are related, and I would like to keep them near each other. Let's see if it works. So I have one undo and undo, and it worked. Right? And now if I have a group of undos, it worked. It undid them all as a group. So if I do you, and then put you, and then put you. This should go back. Then this should go back. Then this should go back. Okay, so undo groups was not as hard as I thought it would be. Once I started, I thought it would be hard. I really did. I thought, ooh, undo groups, I don't want to mess with that. But then I thought about what the algorithm might actually be, and it didn't seem that hard, and it turned out to not be that hard. See what happens when I think about things a little bit? hey, incels. Thank you. All right, so now I want to do the same thing with the redo. So I'm just going to copy this and go to my redo function. Happens right before here. All right, so I'm just going to paste. So I want this right there. And then I want this right here. And this is going to change to redo. And this will change to redo. And this will change to redo. And then I can delete that. So it's going to go backwards through the redo stack. And the first redo group is null. So it sets the group to the current redo item group. Then it does the redo. Then the second iteration through, oh, I need to indent all of this. Then the second time through the loop, group is not null. If it's the same as the current group, then just continue, do the redo. But if it's not the same, then break. Should work. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this undo, and then this will undo, and then this will undo, and then this will undo. And now I'm going to redo. It should do this one, and then this one, and then all of these, and then gorgeous. All right, let's commit. Oh, whoops, that's a different project. That's a different project. So I've got my undo and redo. Yep, indented all this stuff, indented all this stuff, added a little bit of line of code here for the grouping. I can remove these comments. And then here is that concave polygon stuff. Commit. Added or fixed added moving everything touching a wall with the wall. Let's do this in 2 commits. Let's undo that. Unstage. Let's do... Can I commit this chunk? Yeah. Added. Moving everything touching a wall as a unit, as a together with Alt hotkey. And then my second commit will be that's fine. My second commit will be this undo stuff. Add a grouped undo redo when multiple things change at the same time. It does seem like magic sometimes, and I love it when things are easy. Done. Let me give you guys a little tour for the new folk. Well, for the new folk, I guess let's start with the trailer. Here's the trailer. I'm going to blast it at your eyeballs. Here we go. This is Gravity Ace. All right, that's Gravity Ace. And then the level editor, let me give you a little tour. So the level editor, you start with the blank canvas. You have a starting point for the player. And then the first thing you want to do is go in with your brush and draw some walls. And some more walls over here. And I've got a couple of different brush shapes. Let's use this blocky one. Like that. And the spiky one, make it looking more dangerous. And then come in here like this. All right. Then we can add an exit. Say we add an exit right here. And then we'll add a fuel station. Where are you, fuel station? Right here. And then we'll add a bad guy right here. And then we'll add a reactor here. Yeah, and then let's play it. Oh, gotta save it. Save it here. Get the gas. Blow you up. Oh, I forgot to hook that up. This needs to be hooked up to the exit. What just happened? I can't select my exit. There we go. All right, so now this is connected so that when this gets picked up, the exit will appear. Get the gas, blow you up, get the coins, kill you, come over here, get this guy, and we're out. That's the level editor. Yeah, I'm not going to do that right now. I've been working on these. It's just so tedious and boring. And I mean, it's not, it's okay to do. I enjoy doing it. I like making the sound effects and finding the right sound effect, but it's boring to watch because it's just, look at me making this, pushing play a million times and just hearing the same sound effect over and over and over a million times. And I'm like, no, that's not quite right. Let's move it half a second this way, or add a reverb or a delay or something. I need to adjust the volume just a little bit and then play it another million times. It's bad TV. So I do that off stream. Let's see, what can I do in the next 15 minutes? Is there anything small? Not really. Not really. Everything's big. Look at that, my launch tasks keep going down though. Bugs keep going down, and actually all these bugs are just over here in the maybe I don't need to fix them column. This is my ideas column, which is another way of saying maybe one day. My to-do and Act 2 are what I definitely need to finish to get out of early access and in progress, right? That's all of this. Level editor, I just put this count in here just to see how many different level editor tasks I have. And there are 2 that I must do. I guess there's 7 more in here. Yeah, there's a bunch. Little bugs and scroll to zoom. Oh, I see. More juice. New type of asset. This also. I don't know if I'm ever going to get to these things. Mobile missile bunker sounds fun. Nintendo Switch port is on my one-day list. I wonder what it would take. I've never actually looked into it. How do I get a dev kit? Joining is easy. Register now. Everybody is welcome. Dedicated hardware. Self-publish. So many things. Yeah, I'll do this later. Be fun to get a dev kit. If I didn't get one though, if they said no, we're not going to send you one, then I guess I wouldn't do the port, or I would have to find somebody else to do it for me. What should I work on next time? What do you guys want to see next time? I'll probably stream again on Tuesday. I kind of want to, I guess over the weekend I'm going to finish this. Publish this. My plan is to publish this Saturday to YouTube. And then I'll probably just start going down this list and make some kind of mobile turret. So what I'm thinking is another enemy type. And he's going to be a lot like these guys. A lot like these guys. Right? But instead of being stationary, it's going to be on treads, or the legs it's going to walk or something. And it'll just kind of walk around the perimeter of this thing. And the idea there is that by doing that, it'll provide some variety, right? If your timing is different when you play it through, or you die and you respawn, those guys are going to be in a different position than they were when you started, right? And they're going to move around. And so the challenge will be a little different. You might have to wait, and you'll have the option, right? You could say, you know what, I'm not going to fight that guy. I'm going to wait until he moves, and then I'm going to go. Gives you kind of a stealth mode, or ability to do stealth and get through. Oh, that's interesting. So it would give you the ability to get through a level without firing a single shot if you just timed it right, or without even being seen, right? Without being shot at. Yeah, I think I'll start working on that. I think I'll start working on that, and then the next few streams will make that guy. So this guy, to make him, there's going to be some animation for walking, rolling, movement. There has to be a sound effect for moving, sound effect for shooting, sound effect, no. Code for movement, snapping to walls, normal alignment. Start with some placeholder art, which will just be a box or something. It'll be a bright pink box. Need the editor icon. Add to entities JSON. Animation for shooting. Animation for idle. I'm sure I'll think of other things to do, but that's a start. And if I get started on that before Tuesday, I'll walk everybody through what I've done to that point, so that you don't miss anything. So this will be involving a little bit of AI, a little bit of pixel art, a little bit of animation, and yeah, the AI will be something like, if it sees you, it's going to try to move towards you, but if it doesn't see you, it's going to have some kind of patrol. Code for patrol versus seeing the player. So it'll have some kind of detection radius, maybe. Maybe just like some kind of area raycast in front of it, so that if you're in that area, it sees you and it'll move towards you. But if you're not in that area, which could be because you're out of range or because it's on the other side of the wall, then it'll just keep doing its patrol. And then the patrol could be variable for patrol direction. I'm kind of designing this in my head as I go, making my to-do list as I go. I don't want to get too detailed here, though, because once I get into the code, it's going to change. Things are going to change. Maybe I won't have a patrol mode. Maybe it'll just go quiet. And then when it sees you, it'll start shooting and walking. Maybe Maybe it's not going to move towards the player at all. Maybe it'll just try and move kind of randomly to dodge bullets. I like the patrol idea, though. Yeah, because that gives the player some opportunity to do stealth type things. That's what I'll do next time. All right. I think that's going to do it for today, guys. It is 8:07. I need a shower. I need some coffee. It was fun hanging out with y'all. Please stop by again soon. Check out my YouTube channel as well, where I'll be posting a new video probably tomorrow about making game design documents and what I learned from creating a game design document for another project that I'm working on. So if you're interested in game design documents or game design in general, tune in. It'll be a short 10-minute video. And I plan to link to the actual game design document that I made so you can poke at it and see how I did it and look at how I think. So that's going to do it, guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. See you next time. Have a good one, everybody.